hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
What is going on, entertainers? So time come to y'all with another video. Y'all just seen something. Let me tell y'all, this internet is a funny place. It's a really funny place. And like, I want to start off by saying this, like, I'm in the process right now, like, I really want to start pivoting. Say it with me, y'all. Pivot. 808. 808 with the pivot. Okay. I really want to start pivoting. So in this pivoting process, I need y'all support. Okay. I need all of y'all support. That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm requesting, babes. Okay. That's all I want. I don't ask for much. Y'all know this. Okay. I just noticed something really, really funny. But anyways, y'all, we doing like a mini Hollywood Hot Topics once again. You already know to do hype up the video. First, let's start off with Blueface's interview with Jason Lee. So he sat down with Jason Lee. And this to me is like I feel like one of his best interviews since he's gotten out of the clinker so far, because some of his other interviews that he's done, they didn't ask him specifics like Jason did. So that's why I like this interview so much, because he really went into detail into specific questions, especially current day with the whole Nevaeh drama and all that. So he started off with him being in prison and how prison life was, and if anybody like had his back or anybody didn't have his back that he thought would have his back while he was in there. And he said it was a lot of people that he thought was gonna, like, I guess, slide or beef with him that wasn't like, that didn't pay him no mind, that could care less that he was in there, barely checked up on him, all that. If y'all don't know, Blue was supposed to do like 6. He ended up doing like 2 years. So I didn't even realize that. Like, he really was gone for a little bit, and we didn't even notice because he still is getting brought up in the conversation in the media, but we just didn't notice because he was still a topic of conversation. So there's that. Then we get to the tattoos. I still don't get it after he explained it. I don't get it. I would have preferred had he just said, you know, that's on some gang type ish. If he had just said, oh, I got the tattoos because, you know, we gang. I would have been like, okay, bet. Like, you crip life. Then it would have been like, okay, cool. But the stuff he explained, he was like, oh, he's Washington for life. The W, Washington, same time as Walgreens because it's cursive. And then he said Chase. Oh, this is what he said too. He got the Chase and stuff because he chasing money. It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like the explanation was enough. It didn't make a lot of sense at all. Then we get to Jaidyn. So Jaidyn Alexis apparently was given, according to Blueface, $90,000. He gave her $40,000 to spend, I guess, to save, I guess, and then gave her $50K in regards to paying her rent for 5 months straight. So 5 months she had her rent paid off. I'm assuming her rent about $10K a month, if you do the math. So Jason asked him like, hey, did she look out for you when you was in there? And he said no. He didn't give, I guess she didn't give not one penny. She did not follow up or any of the sorts, according to Blue, like at all. Which to me was shocking because I know Jaidyn is sick of his crowd, but I thought she would have at least, like, you know, checked up on him type ish. But I guess because she's been through it before, and then now she's having to raise 2 kids, she was just like, F him, like, you don't put me in this situation, blah, blah, blah. Now, he did give flowers to Chrisean and says that Chrisean did look out for at least 6 months. That's all she could do at this point, which I'm not even mad at Chrisean for doing that limited amount of time because he really wasn't supposed to be in there for that long period of time. I believe he got extended because of bad behavior or something like that he did, and it extended his time, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, that 6 months was all Chrisean did. She gave him whatever he had from the It's a Vibe bag, right? And then we get into the whole Chrisean situation. To me, Blueface dry snitched in this interview. I don't care what nobody say. You dry snitched. A lot of us believe she has something to do with freaking Ronnie's death. But the way that Blue said it, you're gonna get a call from the feds. No shade, because they're still investigating his death, if I'm not mistaken. So you're gonna get a Jonathan Porter. We saw you sat down with Jason Lee. I believe that's his name, and you stated that she talked to him on the date of March, blah blah blah. You're gonna get a call. I was gooped. He said that. I really was, because it's one thing if us folk are saying that. We're regular people. You're a crap. Isn't that considered snitching? Was I the only one thinking that watching it? Because it gagged me a little bit. I'm like, wow, he really like, damn nigga, you might as well walk to the freaking office and just, say, hey, officer, could I have a sit down with you? Because that was dry snitch a little bit to me. But he said the reason why she believes she may have something to do with it is because she's the setup queen. What he's referring to is there was a situation that happened when they were first getting together. This was the Blue Girls Club days. If y'all know, y'all know. If you don't know, I'm gonna refresh y'all. So apparently she was on Blue Girls Club, whatever. They end up getting into some sort of like argument or whatever, some situation while she was there or something. She was gonna try to like set him up to get robbed or something to that effect, because she was like mad at him about something, and or she just wanted something from him, like financially change something, whatever to that effect. So she was trying to conjure up something like that. She ended up getting exposed about it. Blueface gave her like the benefit of the doubt, because a lot of people were like, wow, why would you try to stay with somebody who set you up? Whack 100 has talked about this like a bajillion, a million times, about this whole setup situation. That's the real reason he really do not like Chrisean, if we're gonna be honest. Like after that whole setup situation happened, Wack has never effed with Chrisean like that at all. Okay. Now he does say that he thinks the baby is not his and that is Ronnie's. I'm so sick about the paternity of that baby. It's so sad because that baby deserves better. Okay? That baby deserves way better. It saddens me, Kelly. It really does. Because the way that they talk about the paternity of the baby as if it's just like a toy poodle is so sad.
And it saddens me, Kelly.
It really is. Okay? I do believe the baby is Ronnie's, just because the way the baby looks, that it does look like Ronnie. I feel like. Okay? Now, he also talks about Chrisean and why he was even with Chrisean. Thank you, Jason Lee, for reiterating the point that he was obsessed with her at one point. Because you were. Because you know how Blueface, he gets out of answer real quick. Like, no, I wasn't, we just like, it was for the money. Yeah. I didn't really like her like that. Like, you feel me? Like, it was just money. Like, she looked good. You feel me? Like, sex was okay. She's a dog. Like, he talks real quick, short, quick answers, trying to like wiggle his way out of the answer. Nah, God, you was obsessed with her. At one point, you fell for the girl. You did. Okay, it was blatantly obvious. The funny part about it, he says how people were smelling her smelling her seats after she would leave like a party. So I don't know if that they were trying to insinuate that she stink, but they were smelling her seats apparently. This is what he says on the pod. And then also, too, he then talks about the pregnancy of it all. It says that once she started getting bigger, he then started separating himself from her. And it was to really motivate her to not like drink or smoke, allegedly, while she was pregnant with Junior. And of course, I don't think that was done, because we all see what's going on. So that was a point that he made sure to make. My whole thing is, this is why people believe that's your kid, because it's like, why would you even play into something like that? Like, I don't buy the whole clout money situation when in regards to the baby. I feel like at one point, Blue really thought that was his child. Let's say if he found out that wasn't his child, at one point he thought it was really his kid. Because I feel like ain't no street nigga gonna be doing like nothing like that for no clout and money. Like claiming another man's kids as theirs for clout and money, please. I just refuse to believe that. I feel like he's just saying that so that way he could like put on this facade as if like it was all an act. BS. I think he found out through a way that the child wasn't his, and that's when he started acting the way that he was towards not giving a crap about the child. But I think at one point, especially when she was pregnant, he really thought the baby was his. So yeah, that to me is pure cap. Now he does say that he doesn't want to be with Jaidyn. He doesn't want to be a World Rock. Those are done. So we're not gonna get a Crazy in Love 2, 3, or none of that. He's done. It's done. Okay. And we start getting into the circus. This is where I got exhausted. He starts explaining the purpose of the circus and says that it's always going to be something going on. The like girls, they know what they're getting into dealing with him, which I agree with that 100%. I do not feel any sympathy for any girl that he's been with post Chrisean. I don't care what nobody says. For you to think you're gonna try to change him or he's gonna act different towards you versus some of the other women that he's been with, you're an idiot. So I agree with that. I just don't get the whole it's never gonna be a boring moment. Like, you're not filming a reality show. Blueface really thinks Twitch is a reality show. Blueface really thinks Twitch is Zeus or one of these other networks. It's not. Okay, you are live streaming. It's not a show. This is your real life. There's no post-production. There's no mics. If they are, they're streaming mics. They're not television mics. So that whole it's not a boring moment thing, that's what throws me off. Because I'm like, why would you want to make your life purposely stressful? Because Nevaeh seems like she's stressed the hell out. And so are you. Okay. Now they start getting into like the sexual side of him, which I was very surprised. He started opening up about that, talking about like, oh, he basically makes the girl feel special in bed, wines and dines her and does all that, and make sure that she feels appreciated and all this stuff. Because a lot of people like myself would just assume he just bangs them out and then throws them to the side. But apparently that's not the case. He, really takes care of them in bed. And then they even talk a little bit too later on about the whole eggplant as the cover art for a photo. Then we get into the whole baby situation, right? There's this newer girl, not Nevaeh, who's claiming that she's pregnant by Blue. Mind you, Nevaeh is pregnant by Blue, right? He's saying that's not true. The dates don't align, all that situation, right? My whole thing was Blue is like, you just do not use condoms. You just like the raw dog. It don't make sense to me. Like, Blue, I don't know who's worse, Blueface or Queen Op. I don't know who's worse. I can't pick one. Straight up. Both of them are like the same person, but a different gender. Queen Op be doing some of the same raggedy stuff. You got a white man trying to take you over to his plantation and all of that. Like, it's a shame. It really is when you look at it. Then we start talking about Nevaeh. Now, the whole Nevaeh thing, by the way, Nevaeh, I saw a post the other day. You're doing a GoFundMe. You're crazy. Okay? Ain't nobody gonna fund you. You are with a crip. You get what I'm saying? He should be funding you. I couldn't believe it. I said, I know you're lying. This girl did a whole GoFundMe post saying that Blue is doing this and that. He's stressing out the baby, a la Johnson. He's stressing out my baby. Stressing out my baby. And he needs funds. And all this, she needs funds and boo, 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 boo. I'm like, I don't know about y'all, but you'll be a fool to donate to her. Because you would have had me messed all the way up. Because what? You purposely got pregnant by this man and you try to ask us for money? You crazy as hell. I mean, goddamn. If you'll take us to that OnlyFans and start taking pictures of your foot, I know something. Okay? I know something. Then we get on NLE Choppa. He believes that NLE Choppa is gay. He says this repeatedly in the interview. He says that he feels like NLE Choppa appeals to an audience, which is like a gay audience, and like only gay people would do that. He doesn't know why he does that because he feels like he knows nothing about that lifestyle. So why would you try to like aim for that lifestyle when you know nothing about it? Blah, blah, blah. I, for one, do not think he's one of the girls. I just feel like he's very like comfortable in himself. And in my opinion, I low-key feel like he used the gay community too to fund a part of his career because at one point it was dying down. But once he kind of, you feel me, seemed like he was an ally, everybody joined forces and gave him praise a la NLE, praise a la NLE. So that's how I feel. Like, not every dude y'all see out here is one of the girls. So I do not think he's gay. What's crazy is Blueface talked a good amount in this interview about the gay community. Like, he did spit some truths, but some of the stuff that he was saying didn't make any sense. It was a little ignorant. Like, for instance, like the butt play of it all. He was saying how what makes a man one of the girls, because I don't want to keep saying GAY because I want YouTube to look at me funny, is if they get their Debbie cakes eaten, if they toot it in the air. That's what makes them one of the girls. If they're like this and they toot it up, that's what makes them one of the girls. And to me, I find that ignorant because you could say the same thing for a strap. Because let's say, let's say we could say the same thing for a strap. Because let's say if a dude is laying down on his back and the girl got the strap up in there, then that means he's not one of the girls. We could say the same thing. So I feel like that's very ignorant to me. Like, you cannot dictate positioning and what makes a guy a little try. Like, I don't feel like that's correct. I feel like that's very ignorant and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay? It's just no. Okay? To me, I'm the type of person, I do look at people suspect that do, you know, like it eating a little bit. Like, if you like it, if you're a dude and you straight and you like it eating a good amount, you get what I'm saying? Next is a finger. You know what I'm saying? Next is a little toy. Like, it just, you never know. So I don't know. I just feel all of it in itself to me is a little like, it's a little I don't feel like the positioning like matters because, you know, positioning is another word for ease. You know what I'm saying? It's the ease of it all. So like, I don't know. But Blueface, we're gonna let you keep living it up, getting your 8. All right. So then he starts talking about the hypocrisy of the community, which I do agree with, because he made a point of saying how like he'll be around like certain like the girls and stuff, and they're like, oh, look at him, such and such, like he's one of the girls. Look at him, he's one of the girls, he's gay as hell. Da, da, da. I do agree with that. I used to be somebody who used to do that a lot, which I'm learning to not do that, because one thing I hate, especially because I keep telling y'all this story that happened to me recently, where literally I was trying to network with somebody that works in media. I don't even know what they look like till this day. They had an assistant that had access to their account. I don't know if the assistant was a wife, a side chick, but the assistant was trying to make it seem like I was trying to talk to him on some low-key type ish when our conversation had nothing to do with none of that. It literally was about joining a group chat that he started with other media people and dropping events when they were happening. So I was like, that threw me for a loop because that was the first time that ever happened to me in life. Y'all hear that? In life. So that woke me up like, ooh, like this really is not funny when people try to like make it like a thing. Like anytime somebody's surrounded by one of the girls or whatever, that they one of the girls. So I do agree with him saying that. Like he made a really good point in some of the stuff that he was stating. Now, some of the other stuff though, please. Okay, basically, he was in a roundabout trying to say like Jason is one of the good ones. Y'all know that term. Here, one of the good ones. Jason's one of the good ones. That's what he gave. That's what he gave. Another thing too, Jason, don't be trying to tell Blueface how the girls will supply all of these things and so on and so forth. We're not sugar daddies, Bookabot. I couldn't believe he sat up there and said that. I said, I know you lying. Just because you got the coin to be able to take care of your boys over there, Jason, don't mean we all out here supplying for niggas. Allegedly. Like, that is not all what we do. No shade. Because I ain't going to supply and take care of nigga. No shade. Like, that was like, don't be putting that out there. Not all trade gonna think that. Like, ain't the case, babes. Now, then they talk about Hazel E. Blueface to me with this also didn't make sense to me because why didn't you do your research on her? Like, he thought that she was going to be different because she's older. Did you not watch Love and Hip Hop? Hazel E is worse than the young hoes. Like, come on now. Like, please. We knew that was going to end horribly. before it even ended. Like that relationship literally lasted 6 TMZ meetups. I counted because she called him. You get what I'm saying? Like that's how long it lasted. So for him to think she was gonna be mature and all of that, that's insane work. Like that is insane work. And I wonder how Hazel E is doing since Nevaeh put that brouhaha on him. Now, this is where he drops the bomb. He says that he proposed to her and then she ends up getting pregnant because he wanted another child. And y'all remember around that time, the Blueface, I had to find a new bae. Something, what would my boo say? Y'all remember that? When Blueface, when Rock was on her rap era, when she was gonna be the next Willow Smith. Yeah, that era. So that was when he proposed to her, and apparently she got pregnant and had Control Alt Delete. We're gonna say that word. I couldn't believe it. I said, oh, I know Jaydyn was upset about it. So there was some reactions after the interview, of course, from Karlissa. He says he's not in contact with Karlissa, doesn't talk to her on a consistent basis at all because she's very clout hungry. She wants to get her money up. That was pretty much a big gist of the interview. Once again, I really liked it just because like we got a lot of information out of it, which I appreciated, versus some of his other interviews where like they don't really be asking him about nothing and he don't really be talking about nothing. So I like the fact that they were asked about it. Now, Jaydyn replied back to this interview because she felt a little bit offended, and so did Karlissa. Okay, so both of them ended up replying back to all of this. Somewhere, Rock is like, nigga, okay, laughing about all of this. Okay,
there was no talk of this interview. You want to tell me what I had? Okay, why would I have a baby and you're not coming home 4 nights out the 7 days? If we're trying to do this music thing, why the get pregnant? What good would that do? Now imagine if I was sitting here 3 kids deep and you doing what you're doing. Like, how stupid would I look? But now I feel like I want to spill the beans. Now I feel like I want to just start telling everybody what's the real. I saw you yesterday. Please. There was no talk of this interview. You want to tell me what I had? Okay, why would I have a baby and you're not coming home 4 nights out the 7 days? If we're
Jaydyn is 100% correct. Now, Jaydyn, where you effed up as let him get you pregnant off the rip. I mean, my God, you feel me? Like once you saw the behavior wasn't changing, you shouldn't even let him. Ain't no raw. You feel me? Ain't law. You talking about like that? To me, was her first mistake right then and there. To be honest. But I do believe, y'all know I'm a big believer in a woman having her own choice. Okay, except for you, Queen Op. Oh yeah, I said it. I don't care. Let me tell y'all that Queen Op story. It makes me like, I've seen it, all those Instagram videos. I know I didn't talk about it on here. Once again, we're pivoting. I know I didn't talk about it on here a lot, but I wish I did around the time it was trending because she should be ashamed of herself. I'm sorry. Like, I just feel like a woman should have her own choice, but for the time and point she was in her pregnancy and like how far she let it get along, why? That to me is what bothered me. It's like as if she waited. What bothered me with what Queen Op did, I feel like she waited to get to that point of pregnancy to go viral, to have a Control Alt Delete. Like to me, that was all for clout, and it's really disgusting when you think about it. Like I don't know, that really bothered me when I saw that all over the internet, and then the white guy, and then all that situation. Like that was gruesome to me. Okay, now this is what Miss Karlissa had to say about all of it.
So I just hope that when he lays down at night, he remembers. You know what I'm saying? He remembers. Because like you said, ain't nobody putting no money on your books. Ain't nobody look out for your kids. That was 2 whole years, my boy. And I was trying to look out for the other kid that didn't even speak to me. I sent $200 in the wind. Don't even know if it was for the kid or not. I just did what DJ Sky said to do with it. Okay. So me, like he said, Chrisean did her temporary thing until, you know, when it's not your mama and it's your girlfriend, they're going to do it with stipulations. It's not going to be, because I fuck with you and you a human being. It's not gonna be unconditional. It's gonna come with some conditions. That's how most women think, right? Most women think I'm only gonna help you if it come with conditions. No, not me. Because if my nigga still was messing around or whatever he did, and he got himself in a bind that he couldn't help himself on, I'm still gonna help him and laugh in his face, but I'm still gonna help you. So I get where he coming from, and I get where they coming from. Because it wasn't unconditional when they was riding down the street in the car together finna go have the threesome of their motherfucking life.
Oh.
It wasn't unconditional then, so I get where he coming from. I get where they coming from. I don't get where you coming from talking shit about me, because if I didn't force myself up, nigga, we would have all starved.
Facts. Because Blueface in the interview was talking about how, because Jason asked him, like, hey, what did you think about, you feel me, her interview? And he basically was like, oh, I didn't like her. She talked about her life for all these years, which I'm like, that to me wasn't fair for Blueface to say. Y'all know I'm Team Carlissa regardless. So I'm a little biased. Oh, well. I don't feel like that was fair for him to say, because it's not like she was out here doing a bunch of interviews. We didn't know a lot about her years ago. So I actually like the fact that she opened up about her life. I remember covering it years ago when she did the interview, like, because we didn't know much about her. We just knew her being online and stuff. So knowing some of those intimate details behind the scenes, besides the interview that she did with Tasha, and I believe it was somebody else she did an interview with, it helped us get to learn who she was. So it's like, that was the right time for her to open up and go back all those years, because we did not know her. Okay, let me know what y'all thought down below about that interview, and what did y'all think about it. Okay, now off to Falyn. Every time I give Porsha the benefit of the doubt, something else comes out and I'm proven correct. Okay, because this tells a whole different story. In this interview, Falyn talks about how she got the inkling that Porsha was messing around with Simon allegedly. This was on the Relationship Matter Live podcast.
I knew that Simon was talking to Porsha inappropriately. The day that we filmed, the first day that we filmed together at our home, was the day that I knew. And they had asked me to do the show. I had never seen it. What Simon and I did was we binge watched like the past few seasons or whatever prior to us going on the show. When we agreed to do it, we were just in our bedroom watching specifically this one episode. She did this move where she jiggled all that body fat that she has, whipping that.
Now, I know you ain't doing that. I can't believe you did this. That's why I don't tell you nothing. Because why you do that? Why I do what?
Now let's take a look at Exhibit A, the body fat. So I'm not able to play the video due to Bravo copyright, because they copyright don't play, baby. But this is what she was referring to, was this video. Porsha was in Nene's boutique that she owned. I forgot if it was, I think it was, yeah, it was the Atlanta one. And she had this jumpsuit on, and she started shaking her Big Debbie cakes and started jiggling it and shaking it and just being like, you know what I mean? Bounce that, and she started doing that. So that's the scene that she's referring to.
Eggs. And so I thought it was hilarious. And Simon and I both thought it was so funny. Cut to her coming over. Now, that day, we wrapped, right? I always knew. I knew that Simon was, we wrapped, right? Lights cut off. Production is, packing up. Me, Lauren, and Tanya, we all go upstairs into my bathroom. Simon and Porsha are downstairs by themselves. I'm talking about at least half an hour. I didn't think anything of it. He would say so many times as we're watching these episodes how much she looked like a dog, and who could wake up next to that face in the morning.
But you got to be careful, niggas who talk about girls like that, because they low-key be crushing on them. That's why I think that boy John the Don, he got a thing for light-skinned men and racially ambiguous niggas. No shade.
Without makeup. So I'm thinking nothing of it, right? But of course, now I get it. Men always talk shit about the woman that they're actually screwing. So we wrapped, right? Lights cut off. Production is, packing up. Me, Lauren, and Tanya. And I'm waiting on her to come upstairs as we're all talking. 30 minutes about there passes, and Porsha finally joins us in my bathroom. And out of nowhere, she does the jiggle fat move. And I said, how did you know that I laughed at that? How did you know specifically to do that to make me laugh? Me and the girls were having a conversation, and she came up in the...
Okay, let's start off here. Falyn, why would you leave that woman with your man for 30 minutes downstairs and you don't know what they're doing? Are you high? Like, literally, that is crazy. You set yourself up low-key, Bookie Butt. You basically should have handed him over at that point. 30 minutes. $30. It's 30 minutes. Why would you do that? Like, I'm not even gonna hit you with the why would you do that, because it already has been done. You get what I'm saying? But like, that in itself, it shouldn't have happened, because what they gotta talk about alone for 30 minutes for? That's why I don't be mad when certain women, they don't let their man be around like a woman alone for a certain period of time, because it's like, we're humans. Things happen, conversations are done, actions occur. Straight up. So Porsha, you got some explaining to do. I know that Carlos' interview was a whole bunch of fluff and conflama. Y'all, I done told y'all, Porsha know how to sell a good story. She really does. Now all of a sudden, Kelly finger popping her. Please. Okay? I want Falyn to do a tell-all type of interview about that whole season, because I remember that season, it was a COVID season. Anybody that knows Housewives, COVID seasons are always the worst because there's a lot edited out. There's filming dynamics and stuff that can't be filmed. So it's a lot of like hoopla in the midst of it. So she needs to do a tell-all soon about that whole season, because I want to hear it. Okay? I'm not surprised at this, and I do believe her. I don't think she'll just make this up, because it's very specific in detail. Because a lot of us know that scene in specifics that watch that show, because that scene wasn't made to like go viral, but it ended up going viral because of the body shake of it all. So y'all, off to the Zoo Network, okay? Y'all, these network stuff, I'm so sick of covering them. Like, I've been doing it for so long. That's why I said we're pivoting, okay? And I want y'all to come on this pivot journey with me. You feel me? So, yeah. But apparently, y'all, Tommie mom got involved when it came to filming. I'm so glad she said out her own mouth, and I didn't have to say it. And y'all not believe me again? But apparently her mom got in the midst of it. She said, y'all want to play family games? Ashley, talk about how you buy Tic Tacs from my mama 304. Yeah, say that one. Okay? Now, Ashley, you're going to have to come to the front of the door. Because Zeus got you over there doing Tic Tacs, allegedly. Oh. Ashley turned into the hard stuff. Love Hip Hop canceled. She can't go back even if she wanted to. She's stuck. It's either that or the other network. You know what I'm saying? She's stuck. She cannot go. And then she went on a tangent, y'all, going crazy about come get me, come get me. Y'all not finna do nothing, blah, blah, blah. Going on a whole little bit of like a rant about what happened or whatever. And she says that if Ashley's coming to set, she gonna have to come with security, because she said the next time she gonna pop her. Okay, I'm not gonna play it because she screamed a lot of curse words and obscenities. She at one point even started throwing glass all over the room. Just started throwing glass, right? And at one point she talked about Live Nation and how she hasn't met Live Nation yet.
You always like I did me. I'm always, bitch. I'm never just our nation. It. I ain't met them niggas since I've been here.
Child, Tommie talk like she smokes, like she eat tar. Do you chew tar, Tommie? I don't know. I just feel like it's still this chapter 2. I'm not really feeling it because they just going a little too far. Like everything just far. Like y'all stretching it to the point where like y'all tearing each other to the bone marrow. And now you getting mamas involved. If we're gonna have mamas involved, we need to invite Rashida Mama, Mama D. She's out of a job for Love Hip Hop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's make it even then. I don't know. After Island Boy got knocked out the way that he was, like, I'm just not like, and some other stuff I've been peeping lately. It's just, nah. All right, now let's talk Kelly. So Kelly did an interview with Angela Yee, and I ain't gonna lie, she's kind of gonna get a lot of stuff to come at her this reunion, like a lot, okay? Because she was talking about Porsha, which I still believe her side over Porsha's side over this whole situation with this married man and her trying to get finger popped by Porsha. A lot of you guys do not like Kelly, but it's because a lot of you guys are Porsha apologists. You guys will kiss her ass and will not hold her accountable, versus somebody like Kelly who will hold her accountable and will not kiss her ass. So that's what I appreciate about a woman like Kelly. So she mentioned in this interview how the story keeps changing about the whole married person. The finger popping, she said, could have never happened because they hung out once outside of filming. And then she also was talking a lot of crap about Dennis. That Porsha's going to get you at the reunion, though. I will say that. You better be ready for it. Because although she says she's not in love or she doesn't care to be with Dennis, I still think low-key, deep down, deep down, she still got a lot of love for that man. That's her BD. So she called him all types of Demisha and how he's a little sassy. So, you know, I hope you know what you're getting yourself into doing all of this, Kelly. But I am on her side when it comes to their beef. I just do not like housewives that come on the show and just spew out lies without like any legit proof. Okay. Anyways, y'all, let me know what y'all think down below. Stay tuned for more videos, and we're out, babies.